Hello and welcome back to Curbstone City and the Christmas edition of ECW Live. And if you're watching this on Christmas Day, hopefully you've had a great day. If you're not watching it on Christmas Day, I hope you're having a nice day anyway. But yeah, we've came in with the news that Steve Austin's contract is ending. And I'm not going to get my hopes up too much. I can't see us getting him or even being able to afford him. But X-Pac seems like it could be more likely. Keiji Muto has been offered a contract extension with New Japan. Grandmaster Sexay contract is ending, and so is Scotty 2 Hotties. So they could be a good tag team to bring in. So let's just see how much this is going to cost. We've also got Psychosis in AAA's contract is expiring, but I don't know if I want him. And then some other things in Canyon as well, but I won't bring in Canyon. So let's check out first X-Pac. Let's see how much he wants and how much WWE have offered him. So Rivals offer $10,700 per month. So let's just get an idea of how much we're paying the likes of Rhino and people like that. So Vampiro is on $15,000 per month. Rhino is on $9,500. And we're making a decent profit, so we could sign one or two of these if we put the money up. Steve Austin, it's probably not going to happen. His popularity is ridiculously high, 100. That would have been amazing, but it's not happening. Grandmaster Sexay, on the other hand, Brian Christopher, he's still young, only 29, and it would break one of the owner's goals to sign him, so we'll not do that. Scotty 2 Hottie, Scott Taylor, lower mid-card in WWF, 52 overall. And he would be interested. Let's look at his skills first. He's not bad. Athletic. He's got good stamina, good resilience. He's not the great entertainment abilities. And if we were to get him anyway, we'd have to offer him a written. I'm not sure if I want him, to be honest. Well, he'd be on more than Joe, less than Rhino, pretty much. And would he be a main eventer? Probably not. So I think we're just going to leave it. But yeah, I'm going to skip to Revolt unless something comes up anyway. So yeah, here we are. And before we can book the show, we have some incidents involving Samoa Joe. And he helped create a great atmosphere backstage when he pulled a great rib on the entire locker room and had everyone laughing afterwards. Good man, Joe. Kenta and Harley race another wrestler's court. And the usual forgot to shake hands deal. And for the entirety of this December, we are going to be running our shows from the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City, which is on 34th Street, which is where the name of the pay-per-view comes from, Massacre on 34th Street. It is only $2,600. Might not be good money-wise, but yeah, for the tradition of ECW, let's do it anyway.
So begin the show with CM Punk sitting with his legs crossed in the center of the ring. And he says, "I tried and tried so very hard to empathize with all of you sat here in attendance tonight. And I try to empathize with all of you watching at home. But tonight, I speak out and say it how it is. And all of you people try to hide from all of your problems. You live your life in ignorance of truths that are right in front of your face. You do so by clouding your consciousness with alcohol and drugs. However, I am the antithesis of all of you disgusting people. I am drug-free. I am alcohol-free. I am straight edge. And I am better than every single one of you. Don't believe me? Watch what I do to my opponent tonight. I am fueled by nothing but self-belief and self-discipline, and ECW will be my kingdom." So yes, CM Punk there, having a little promo about his straight edge, and he's basically just turned heel on the crowd. Now the crowd don't like him. 72 B- for that one. And the angle got the show off to a strong start, and this angle got the crowd hotter, and there were no improvements, but that's a pretty good promo. And then we go into the match he was talking about, and he faces Austin Aries, and he beats him in 5 minutes 51 by pinfall. And apparently they don't seem to click. But Punk gets a 61, Aries gets a 38. So this is the first match Austin Aries has had since leaving his blackout gimmick. And yeah, 38 isn't bad. And 48 D+ for that. And CM Punk is improving in performance skills. And then we go backstage where the ECW originals are sitting round a table playing cards. And Rhino says, "So tonight, one of you has to go one-on-one with Samoa Joe. Does anyone want to nominate themselves? And Just Incredible stands up and he says, if someone has to step up, I want it to be me. And then Rhino says, good man, I know you won't let us down. So yeah, he sounds a bit hesitant, but he wants to prove a point. And this angle got the crowd hotter. Rhino looked good. Spike looked dreadful. So he's been looking pretty bad in segments recently, Spike Dudley, which isn't good for the Junior Heavyweight Championship. But yeah, 61C. Then in the bout that had decent wrestling but didn't have much heat, the Phenomenals defeated Juventud Guerrera and Tajiri in 10 minutes 30 when AJ Styles defeated Tajiri by pinfall with a dropkick Styles clash. And Fergal Devitt was off his game. The match needed more time in order to tell the story it was designed for. What did I set that as? It was technical masterclass, so yeah, it needed more time. This match was poorly placed. A technical match isn't the right thing to do when feeding a rowdy crowd. Fergal Devitt had an in-ring performance of 45, AJ Styles 59, so he hasn't done that great compared to what he usually does. Tajiri got a 57, Juventud got a 50. I'm sure AJ usually gets more, but that's fine. At 36 D-. And in an extremely short match, Vampiro defeated Balls Mahoney, who's come back on a one-night deal. Just because I've run out of people for Vampiro to job against, so I just brought a familiar face back. And he's won in 4 minutes 44 by submission with a guillotine choke, 54 C-. And the crowd didn't like the fact that they were seeing Balls Mahoney, but they did have great chemistry, which helped. 69 for Vampiro, 45 for Balls Mahoney, 54 C- overall. And then the usual Vampiro and Angel Williams stand in the ring, and the lights go out and they disappear. And then in the main event, in a bout that had good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd, Samoa Joe defeated Just Incredible in 12 minutes 01 by submission with a Dragon Sleeper. And this match got the crowd buzzing. Samoa Joe got a 78, so again, main event caliber. 59 from Credible, and the new injection versus the original storyline has advanced. And yeah, this was set to steal the show, and they did that pretty well, so 70C+. Then after the match, Samoa Joe celebrates his win on the top rope. He turns around and walks straight into a gore from Rhino, and Rhino picks up a flawed Just Incredible and pushes him, shouting how he is useless. And then Just Incredible steps back and looks at him, and he pushes Rhino back. And then Rhino grabs Credible and hits him with a devastating pile driver. And the show closes with Rhino staring into the camera and he yells, I own this place. So yeah, Rhino ends pretty strong at the end. And that got an 83B+. So that was based on Rhino's overness and Just Incredible and Samoa Joe's selling. So they must have sold that pretty well. And the storyline continues and has gained heat. So a good ending to the show. And 69C+ overall. And increased our popularity in 18 regions. And we sold out the Hammerstein Ballroom as well. And we got a 1.98 TV rating. Psychosis extends his deal with AAA on a non-exclusive contract this time. It was written, so you could maybe look at bringing him in. He doesn't actually work in America, so it's irrelevant actually. And Chris Hero has signed a non-exclusive contract extension with IWA Mid-South. And tonight we're hosting ECW Aaka Live in Japan, which we hold every month at the start of the month, just to keep relevant in kinky Japan. So I'll book that and show you what happened. And before this show in Japan, CM Punk has listed the locker room when he organised and then won a video game tournament, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I've booked it. We'll just quickly run through this. We've got a 32E+ to start. Low Key defeats Garuda and Chris Sabin when Low Key pins Chris Sabin. And Garuda debuted his old school face gimmick, Got an Awful, which isn't good. The match got the show off to a strong start. 33 for Low Key, 31 for Garuda, 24 for Chris Sabin. And Low Key is improving in technicals. Garuda is improving in rumble skills, and Garuda is improving in performance. And then in a 6-man tag match, Vampiro and the Phenomenals defeat Tiger Mask, Kentara Shiga, and Akintoshi Saito in 15 minutes 07 when Fergal Devitt defeated Kentari Shiga by pinfall. Then free wall on local workers deals. Saito was off his game. The match got the crowd hotter. 52 from Devitt, 62 from AJ, 60 from Vampiro, 51 from Saito, Shiga with 46, and Tiger Mask with 58. But yeah, 56C minus, not bad. Then after the match, the lights go out and Vampiro and Angel disappear. And the rest of the competitors all stand together with their hands held and raised in a show of respect. And yeah, just to please the crowd, 45D, and Tiger Mask is getting better at his gimmick. But that's irrelevant because he's not even signed. And then in the main event, in a battle that had good wrestling but not much heat, Tommy Dreamer defeats Kaz Hayashi in 9 minutes 37 by pinfall with a pile driver. And Tommy Dreamer makes defense number 1 of his ECW Aaka heavyweight title. So I thought I may as well just put the belt on in the main event. And yeah, successful defense from Tommy Dreamer against Kaz Hayashi in Japan. Tommy Dreamer gets 61, Kaz Hayashi with a 75. So yeah, Kaz Hayashi's reputation definitely helped this to a B minus. Remember, this is just a house show, so this isn't on TV or pay-per-view. It's just for the crowd and just to improve the reputation. But yeah, this show increased our popularity in one region, which means it was a success, and 64C overall.
And now we are back from Japan, and we are in the Hammerstein Ballroom again in New York. And we open with Paul Heyman standing in the ring, and he says, "Tonight, I am here to talk about the massacre on 34th Street main event. I have decided that the ECW World Heavyweight Championship will be defended by Rhino, and I'd like to ask the following 5 men to come to the ring: Vampiro, Minoru Tanaka, CM Punk, Keiji Muto, and finally Samoa Joe." And then the 5 men mentioned enter the arena, and Heyman says, "All of you have impressed me with recent performances, and I feel you all deserve a chance to be the one to take on Rhino. However, I don't want one of you to face him. I want 3 of you to face him. So over the next 3 weeks, we will see all of you main event Revolt. The winners of their matches will enter a fatal 4-way for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship. And tonight we will see CM Punk. And you will take on Samoa Joe. Next week, Minoru Tanaka, you will take on one of your idols, Keiji Muto. And Vampiro, I want to find a real test for you, and you will find out who in 2 weeks' time." So yeah, that's pretty much the main event for Massacre on 34th Street sorted. 3 qualifying rounds. The winners go into the Fatal 4-Way to take on Rhino for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship. So yeah, the odds are against Rhino for the main event. And the Angle got the show off to a strong start. The Angle got the crowd hotter, and CM Punk underperformed, but we still got a 73B minus overall. Then after that, Heyman says, "That's all for now. You can leave," and the 5 wrestlers exit the ring. And Heyman says, "Hey Joe, not you. You can stay." Samoa Joe steps back from the apron, back into the ring, and he says, "I have huge respect for your talent, but you have to understand something. If you want to enter this match, you have to make a sacrifice." And Heyman points to the television title on Joe's shoulder, and Joe looks down at the belt and looks back up. And Heyman says, "If you want the chance to be in tonight's main event, you have to give that up. You have to go all in. We all know you can beat Rhino, and that there proves it. But are you willing to risk it all?" And Samoa Joe looks back at his belt. He takes it off his shoulder and hands it to Heyman, and he leaves without saying a word. So Joe has vacated his television championship for a chance to enter the ECW World Heavyweight Championship Fatal 4-Way at Massacre 34th Street. And this got a 74B minus, a good performance from Heyman in particular, as he was based on microphone, and Samoa Joe was based on overness. So yeah, that would have boosted Joe's reputation, I hope. And in a decent match, Sandman defeats Taka in 9 minutes 54 by pinfall with a flying leg drop. And they didn't seem to click, made for an awkward bout. Taka got 60, Sandman got 42, and there were no worker improvements to comment. But yeah, 58C minus, that was good. And it soon became pretty clear that Sandman was drunk. It really affected his performance, as expected. And this was a little experiment here. It hasn't seemed to have gone well, but the camera cuts backstage to Angel Williams and Vampiro, and Angel was on the microphone this time. I was just going to test how well she did. And she says, "My man is ready for whoever wants to stand in his way, and nothing will stop the rise of Vampiro. And then they laugh as the camera fades to black. And Angel Williams was based on microphone, Vampiro on overness. And she didn't do very well, to be fair. But the performance from Vampiro was good. Angel was very underwhelming. In 43D, there were no improvements. I was hoping maybe she would get an improvement in microphone, but she didn't. And then Kaz Hayashi and Kendo Kashin defeat Kenta and Steen in 10 minutes 27 when Kendo Kashin defeated Kenta by pinfall. And Kendo Kashin has debuted his Street Fighter gimmick and got an average. Kevin Steen and Kenta again have great chemistry. As planned, the match brought the fans down a little bit, so it was set to calm the crowd. Kendo Kashin was the man of the match and got 63. Kaz Hayashi got a 60, Kenta got a 58, and Steen got a 52. So yeah, basically just testing out a new team of Kashin and Kaz Hayashi. And yeah, it seemed to do pretty well. They got good ratings between them, 63 and 60, and 62C overall. So yeah, I'm pleased with that. Then the Sandman is walking down the corridor and he bumps into CM Punk. He says, "Hey Punk, I hear you are main eventing tonight, and I know Rhino won't say this, but we are rooting for you. We don't want Samoa Joe anywhere near this title match." And CM Punk says, "I'm sorry, what did you say?" All I could hear is mumbling, man. And then CM Punk knocks the can of beer out of Sandman's hand and walks away laughing. Sandman watches Punk leave looking furious, but then he smiles. This angle got the crowd hotter. The new injection and the original storyline has advanced. 59C. And in a bout that had great wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd, Samoa Joe defeated CM Punk in 11 minutes 45 by pinfall with an Avalanche Island driver. So, bit of controversy here. Sandman is, in the end, cost CM Punk the victory, and he's helped Samoa Joe win, and Rhino is not going to be happy. So yeah, Samoa Joe seemed off his game, and how they got a B 79, and they've got great chemistry. 80 from Joe, 72 from Punk, so very impressed with them. And yeah, the storyline has gained heat. And then after the match, Samoa Joe looks at Sandman and shrugs and leaves the ring. And Sandman uses his kendo stick to beat a floored CM Punk. And Punk manages to roll out of the ring and escape up the ramp holding his neck. And then Sandman goes into the crowd to celebrate with the fans. Despite the ECW Original's aim of stopping Samoa Joe, Sandman has put that aside. And he's targeted CM Punk, the man who has been preaching his straight edge lifestyle against the fans and the locker room. And Sandman has taken exception to that. And the crowd got hotter. The performance of Joe was good. And again, storyline has continued. 61C to end the show. And a great revolt. Possibly the best one so far. And this show increased our popularity in 18 regions. And yeah, sold out the Hammerstein Ballroom again. And Vampiro thinks Kevin Steen doesn't get it when it comes to working a crowd, and finds someone who does know how to work. And ECW Revolt got a 2.26 rating, so that is easily the highest so far. So yeah, picking up steam in terms of ratings. And there's an incident involving the Sandman. This will be because he was drunk. We're going to give him a warning again. Nothing has happened. Kind of plays into the storyline, but we don't really want him to shoot drunk. It's a work, Sandman, come on. And yeah, ECW Revolt, our second best show ever. Joint second with October 2001. But yeah, December 2001, B minus 73. Really good stuff. Happy with that. And Austin Aries is requesting a pay rise, so we're just going to give him 50%. And he's annoyed at the decision. He's not actually got any morale issues with it, so that's fine. Mikey Whipwreck has got some minor concerns. Someone we have not used in a very long time. And he's not very good in the ring. He's sort of over. He's classed as an occasional wrestler. We may as well just release him. I can't remember the last time we used him. It was August. And he's had 5 matches for us. 1 was on the pre-show. So yeah, there's no need to have him anymore. No plans for him whatsoever. I also want to find someone for Raina Sable to manage. And I may write that into a storyline soon. So here we are at the next Revolt. back in the Hammerstein Ballroom, and Sandman, Rhino, Spike and Dreamer stood in the ring. And Rhino says, last week there seemed to be a little misunderstanding. Sandman, what the hell were you thinking? And then Sandman says, Rhino, with all due respect, I have nothing to say to you. You think you are some kind of leader. I do not have a leader or a boss. I am the fucking Sandman. If you really want to prove you are the best around here, just fight your battles and win them. And then Sandman walks away through the crowd, and Tommy Dreamer and Spike look at each other and shrug their shoulders, and they walk up the ramp, leaving Rhino on his own. And Rhino says, you all want to walk away from me? That's fine. I don't need any of you. I am Rhino, and I am the ECW World Heavyweight Champion, and I will be the champion until I decide otherwise. So Rhino has had everyone leave him now. He broke Justin Credible's neck with a pile driver. Sandman has decided to go off on his own and face CM Punk. A little battle of his own there, and Tommy Dreamer and Spike have just given up on Rhino. And he throws the microphone down on the floor and walks up the ramp. And the announcing lifted the segment, colour commentary as well. The Angle got the show off to a strong start. The performance of Rhino was good, and Spike again didn't look good. But yeah, 64C, good segment to start the show. And next up is a number one contendership elimination 6-man match for the number one contendership of the junior heavyweight title. And this is all the pretty much new faces, apart from Kendrick and Austin Aries, and they're still pretty new in terms of their current persona anyway. They had a short run with Vampiro, but yeah, not much. So they haven't been seen much really. And in about, they had terrible wrestling, non-existent crowd heat, not a good match to be fair. But Low Key defeats Chris Sabin, Brian Kendrick, Delirious, Danny Havoc, and Austin Aries in 10 minutes 15. The order of elimination was Delirious first, Chris Sabin second, then Danny Havoc, then Brian Kendrick, then finally Austin Aries. I didn't have any to say on that, of the order, but yeah, that's apparently what happened. And in terms of in-ring work, Low Key was head and shoulders above everyone else, so I definitely made the right choice for making him win. But he sustained a slack jaw. Let's hope he's alright for the pay-per-view. Chris Sabin had an in-ring performance of 27. Low Key had 57. Brian Kendrick had 27. Delirious had 17. Not a good show from him. Danny Havoc had 24. And Austin Aries had 33. So yeah, the standouts were Low Key and Austin Aries. Sabin and Brian Kendrick didn't do too bad. Danny Havoc did okay. Delirious didn't do good at all. But yeah, 41D, not the best match we've ever had. And then CM Punk is backstage and he is looking for Sandman. So he's walking around, he's looking for him. It's a 52D+. And then the Chain Gang defeated Kendo Kashin and Kaz Hayashi, who got a win last week, so now they've lost this week to the Chain Gang. Jay Briscoe pinned Kaz Hayashi, and Kendo Kashin is not suited to his gimmick, so we'll have to look at that. Kaz Hayashi had an in-ring performance of 69. Kendo Kashin had an in-ring performance of 70. Briscoe got a 72. Briscoe got a 42. Cena got a 44. And 63C overall. And yeah, in the last 2 weeks they've had a win each. So we're just giving some teams some wins pretty much. And we're going to eventually, next week we're going to crown a number one contender for the tag titles. So we just need to put some teams in the mix. So yeah. 63C, as I said. And CM Punk is still looking for Sandman backstage. Then from behind, Sandman hits CM Punk with a beer bottle, and Punk is motionless on the floor. Sandman then opens up a load of bottles and pours them all over CM Punk. And this wakes Punk up, and he rolls around trying to stand up. He then gets up and slips back onto the floor again as Sandman walks away. Then the camera pans back to Punk laying on the floor, and he screams, "You son of a bitch." So yeah, 60C. And just to continue the Sandman CM Punk storyline, I need to give them their own storyline, to be fair. This made the current new injection, the originals storyline lose heat, which isn't good. Reina is backstage talking to the camera. She says, "I want to put the ECW locker room on notice. I am looking for a new client, and one of you lucky boys could get the chance to be managed by me, and I will be watching." And Reina came across well, 65C. So yes, just stating her intentions. Then in a superb match, Minoru Tanaka defeated Keiji Muto in 9 minutes 49 by pinfall. Tanaka was off his game. It says really off his game. And he got a B, so yeah, not bad at all. 75 for Tanaka, 74 for Keiji Muto. And yeah, to be fair, great match. Couldn't ask for more. And then a video airs, which you'll see on the screen, shows the current main event for Massacre on 34th Street. And we need to name the fourth man, which could be either Vampiro or a surprise who will be revealed on the next Revolt. But yeah, 66C plus for that graphic. And then after the match, Minoru Tanaka helps Keiji Muto up off the floor and he bows in front of him. Then he exits the ring, leaving the audience to applaud Muto. So yeah, just a show of respect from Tanaka, from the young lad to the veteran. And 84B plus, which is really good, and increased our popularity in 18 regions. 75B minus for that one. I'm not sure why the ratings have suddenly shot up. People just must be getting over. I'm just going to check Tanaka's popularity, and 69 in the tri-state, so he is getting over. It must just be because people are getting exposure. Or getting better as well. So yeah, really good things happening. And yeah, here we go. Low Key sustained a slack jaw after a botched move from Brian Kendrick. So let's see how he's doing. Hopefully he can make the match. And he's currently working through the slack jaw. So he should be okay. Let's hope he doesn't get further injuries. So we're going to have to keep him out of matches until I get an email confirming his return. But yeah, good performance from him in the last show. So I'm pleased with that. And ECW Revolt got a 2.31 TV rating. Rhino thinks Brian Kendrick is a star in the making. He could make us some serious money. Let's check out the creative meeting. And Keiji Muto is a popular main eventer. He's number 1 for franchise players. Vampiro, then Rhino, then Samoa Joe, then Minoru Tanaka. So yeah, they're the main stars at the minute. Apparently Keiji Muto is our biggest star. That'll probably be because of his popularity in Japan. Next big thing's John Cena, who we need to do more with. I've been saying that for a while. Taka and Brian Kendrick. Hot prospects are Chris Hero, Brian Kendrick, Chris Sabin, Doug Williams and Low Key. The best talkers are Paul Heyman, Keiji Muto, John Cena, CM Punk and Rhino. Showstoppers, Keiji Muto, Juventud Guerrera, Vampiro, Minoru Tanaka, CM Punk. Ring Generals, Juventud Guerrera, Taka, Minoru Tanaka, Keiji Muto, CM Punk. Who's hot is Samoa Joe, Rhino, Fergal Devitt, good to see him up there, and AJ Styles, his tag partner. And Vampiro, who's not Tajiri, Juventud Guerrera, Chris Hero, Taka, and Keiji Muto. So this is the people with the least momentum. Who's hot is the one with the most. Time decline, Keiji Muto. 3 to 4 years past his best, apparently. And here's some hidden gems as well, but I'm not looking to sign anyone at the minute. And our size has been going up and up for quite a while now overall. We're nearly back up to 60, which is what we started at in the tri-state, which is good. We did go down, but we're starting to head back up now. Our popularity overall in the USA is doing well. And let's just check Japan. So Kinky has gone straight down then up, and our popularity in Kyushu and Hokkaido is going up as well, which is where we've got the TV deals. I'm also just quickly looking at the TV networks. I'm not going to change anything just yet. It's worth noting that we're currently on medium coverage, but some companies are big that will consider talking to us, but they are only in America, and our current deal expands to Canada. So if we just quickly look at what Canadian ones we can get, if we can get one that's just Canada at medium, which we can, it might be worth switching to a big American deal and then just a medium Canada deal. And apparently Rhino has signed a one-night deal with CMLL. I'm assuming he's going to be defending the GPWC belt there. I wouldn't mind if he did lose it at the minute, because I'm not doing anything with it. I just want to focus on the ECW title at the minute. And Low Key has returned to full fitness, so that's good. Before we start the next show, we've got a backstage incident with Minoru Tanaka, and he gave the locker room a lift as he unveiled a series of spot-on impressions of some of his colleagues. So very good, Minoru. And Reina is working elsewhere, so that puts a bit of a halt to her storyline. But yeah, back in the Hammerstein Ballroom, and let's sell it out again.
And we begin the show with Vampiro and Angel standing in the ring. And Vampiro says, "Tonight, Heyman has found me a mystery opponent, and right now, I want to know who it is. So come out, wherever you are." And the lights go out, and a text appears on the Titantron. And yeah, pretty cool, I think. This angle got the show off to a strong start, and the crowd got hotter, and we're just teasing who it is. And this got a 70C+. So it's someone people will be familiar with. Is it someone Vampiro's familiar with? We'll find out. And then in a decent match, Rhino defeats Chris Sabin in 6 minutes 22 by pinfall with a gore. And Rhino looked excellent, 85 for him, 29 for Sabin. So basically just a squash match for the champion going into Sunday. He's got nothing else to do. He's just waiting to find out who his opponent is. And this was wild brawl and domination from Rhino. Decisive finish, C60, not bad. Then CM Punk is in the ring, and he says, "All of you people have let me down. You're all disgusting, just like the Sandman. Now I want to call out this slob so I can finish him off myself." Then Sandman's music hits, and he walks into the balcony of the Hammerstein Ballroom, mic and beer in hand, and he says, "Hey Punk, up here. I have a proposal for you. You know that we have that event here this Sunday? I think we should organise a fight." And Paul Heyman stands out of his commentary position, and he says, "Tell these people what we talked about this afternoon." And Heyman says, "This Sunday, here at the Hammerstein Ballroom, we will see CM Punk take on the Sandman in a 2 out of 3 falls match, and it will be for the vacant television championship." And Sandman apparently invented a catchphrase that lightly boosted his ability on the microphone. So what could his new catchphrase be? "We should organise a fight." There we go, that can be his catchphrase. This angle got the crowd hotter, and the storyline advanced. I think I need to make separate storylines now, but we'll just keep it going until after the pay-per-view now. But yeah, 67C+. And then Kendo Kashin and Kaz Hayashi defeat Kenta and Steen and the Chain Gang in 9 minutes 36 in an elimination match, and they are crowned the new #1 contenders for the tag titles. And Kendo Kashin, I forgot to change his gimmick. Great chemistry from Kenta and Steen again. 54 for Steen, 63 for Kenta, 41 for Briscoe, 46 for Cena. Hayashi with a 63 and 69 for Kashin, 65 overall. So again, not bad. And the camera goes into the parking lot where Rhino can be seen getting into his car. And the cameraman shouts for him. He says, "Rhino, where are you going?" "I'm going back to my hotel room in New Jersey. I don't want to be in New York City unless I have to be. Now leave me alone. I want to rest up. I don't care if Vampiro wins or if it's this big mystery opponent. I will be there on Sunday and I will walk away. ECW World Heavyweight Champion." This got a 77B, so Rhino's leaving the building. He drives off, and yeah, good promo from him. Pleased with that. And then Vampiro and Angel Williams are stood in the ring awaiting Vampiro's opponent following their entrance, and the lights go out. And then the text appears on the screen again, and I'll animate this one again, so if you're on a different tab, click back. and then the lights turn on, but it's still difficult to see, and then a silhouette of a man in a long coat appears in the stands. The lights flash on and off for a brief second, and the crowd go wild. Holy shit chants ring through the Hammerstein ballroom, and the lights come back on. And Joey Styles says, "Oh my god, it's Sting." And the camera goes to Vampiro's face and he is in shock. Sting then propels down to the ring on a zip wire and goes face to face with Vampiro. So these have got a bit of a history in WCW, and the man, the icon, many months after I wanted to debut him, has finally debuted on the final Revolt of December 2001. And yeah, I'm happy I've got him. I'll show you more about his contract after this show, but yeah, he was supposed to be at Global Glory in like March, April time, and the contract fucked up. So yeah, we've finally got him, and he's debuted his old school face gimmick and got above average and 66 C+, and Sting is in ECW. And in a bout that had great heat and decent wrestling, Sting defeated Vampiro in 14 minutes 35 by pinfall, 69 C+. I was expecting better. But yeah, Vampiro got a 67 and Sting got a 57. It's not too bad. Let's hope he can get better than that in the future. It's still a massive signing, I think. And this increased our popularity in 18 regions, C+ 70 overall. And before we check the emails, in breaking news, Vince McMahon has become engulfed in a major scandal after being recorded making religious slurs. The incident, which seemingly threatens to derail his career, has been picked up by many media outlets, insiders, and have branded him toxic and expect to essentially be unusable for the foreseeable future until the storm has passed. WWF, owned by Linda McMahon, vacant booker position. Let's see if it affected the company. No, they're still fine. Vince McMahon is now unemployed. Should we try and sign him? No. Sting doesn't like him. Reigns doesn't like him. We could theoretically do it, but let's not. And yeah, again, I got it in the emails. What's that about? An ECW Revolt got a 3.20 TV rating, so that's our highest ever. So Sting drawing in that crowd. And we've got some new goals, so we'll check that out. But first, here is Sting's contract. He is on $21,000 per month, and he is signed for a year, and does not wrestle on house shows, which we don't run anyway, which is fine. And we're paying his travel, and there is a non-complete clause. And the owner goals, let's see which ones are new. Sting must be kept above 71 overall popularity in America, and he is currently 81, so that should be fine. But yeah, next up we will go into the final pay-per-view of the year, the final show of this 1 hour special. I'm just going to run through the card. So it's the Phenomenals will take on Kendo Kashin and Kaz Hayashi for the ECW Tag Team Championships. The Junior Heavyweight title will be on the line when Spike defends against Low Ki. The Sandman and CM Punk will fight for the vacant television title. And in the main event, we see Rhino defend with all the odds against him, with the challengers Minoru Tanaka, Sting, and Samoa Joe in a fatal 4-way. And before we can do that, Sandman was caught smoking, breaking the locker room rules, so we're just going to give him a stern warning. Nothing happened. Incident involving AJ Styles and Garuda, and they've really bonded and discovered a share of love of classical 80s power ballads. So I've just realised that most of the roster are not going to be available for tonight. So I'm going to have to move the pay-per-view. So we're going to move it to Tuesday. Revolt isn't until Friday, so that's fine. Has no effect. We've got quite a bit of news that's come through just before this. Rhino's left New Japan's loan. Jay Briscoe's left CZW. Scotty 2 Hottie and Grandmaster Sexy have finally left WWF, so they weren't offered new contracts. Or they didn't accept them, either one. Hiroshi Tanahashi is available to work in new game areas. That's definitely tempting. In fact, we're going to offer him a contract. Pay per appearance, $500. That's fine. Aguela, who's that? for Essa Rios is available. And is no longer freelance. WWF have made a contract offer to Shane Douglas because he's on our shortlist. We get notified, and Tommy Dreamer. Let's see what they're offering Dreamer. And I keep forgetting, WWF can just snap anyone up at any moment, and that's on pay-per appearance. And we're good to leave that for now. I'll keep it in the emails, and I'll think about offering him a new contract. I probably should really, but I'll leave it for now. And as usual, we're going to be on Globecast, KTV and Sapporo. And it doesn't look like there's any locker room incidents, so we're just going to go straight into the show. So we're here, finally, at the Massacre on 34th Street. And we are back in the Hammerstein Ballroom. And we open with CM Punk cutting a promo about being straight edge once again. But then he's interrupted by Sandman's entrance. And the announcing in colour did well. The angle got the show off to a strong start. The angle got the crowd hotter. And the storyline has advanced. I need to sort the storylines out, but still. 64C. And in a decent match, CM Punk defeats Sandman in 9 minutes 34 by 2 straight falls, with the final fall happening by pinfall. And CM Punk is the new ECW World Television Champion. And I think that's his second reign. So yeah, big for Punk. 68 for him and 51 for Sandman. And 64C. I was expecting a bit more, but still it's quite good. Then in a bout that had good wrestling but not much heat, the Phenomenals defeated Kaz Hayashi and Kendo Kashin in 19 minutes 44, when Fergal Devitt defeated Kaz Hayashi with a dropkick Styles Clash. And the Phenomenals make defense number 3 of the ECW World Tag Titles. And I've given them a good amount of time here. They've had 19 minutes 44 to show what they can do, and they've pulled it off. They've got a 67C plus overall. Fergal Devitt was the weak link, which is a shame. But he didn't actually do that bad if you look at the numbers. He got a 57, AJ got a 69, Kendo Kashian got a 68, and Kaz Hayashi got a 68. And again, I forgot to change Kendo's gimmick. And then, shocking match, to be honest. In a bout that had decent wrestling but didn't have much heat. Low Key defeats Spike in 10 minutes 04 by pinfall. And Low Key is the new ECW World Junior Heavyweight Champion. And the match was poorly placed. The crowd were already hot and didn't need working. I think this was supposed to open the show. I've put it in the wrong place. But still, I suppose it could be worse. But 47 for Spike, 52 with Low Key. I took the belt off Spike because he's not been performing well in segments. So we'll give Low Key a little run, see how he does with the belt. 42D. And in a bout that had good heat and decent wrestling, Tommy Dreamer defeated Keiji Muto in 10 minutes 16 by pinfall with a pile driver. And Tommy Dreamer makes defense number 2 of his ECW Aaka Heavyweight Championship. And I believe this is Keiji Muto's rematch. I don't think he had a rematch once he lost the title to Dreamer, so yeah. And Muto is getting better at his gimmick. The colour and announcing did well again. As planned, this match brought the fans down a little bit, ready for the main event. Dreamer got a 71, Muto got a 55. And that's probably because he didn't want to lose. But yeah, 63C, no improvements. And in the main event, in a superb match, Minoru Tanaka has defeated Rhino, Samoa Joe and Sting in 25 minutes 06. When Minoru Tanaka defeated Rhino by pinfall. And it's happened. Rhino has lost the belt. Tanaka is the champion. During the match, we also had Vampiro run in and attack Sting. Minoru Tanaka wins the ECW World Heavyweight title. And this match got the crowd buzzing. 81 for Rhino. Tanaka with an 82. Joe with a 74. But Sting only got a 66. And this was because he didn't want to lose. Even though I kept him strong. And I had the interference. He didn't want to lose and he still didn't like the match. So that's probably affected the outcome. But still, B minus 72 isn't bad at all. And after the match, Minoru Tanaka celebrates his huge title win as pyros go off on the stage. And Heyman says he did it. Rhino has been defeated for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship. The 1 year reign of terror is over. And yeah, 72B minus again, the same as the match. It's a good ending to the show. Let's hope it helps the overall rating. And we got a 70 C+. I was hoping to get maybe a B-, but we're only 1 point off it, so I suppose it's not too bad. But yeah, this show increased our popularity in 16 regions, which is good. And we're telling Tanaka that he's had a great performance. Sting told that he could do better, as well as Spike. And Minoru Tanaka was happy. Sting didn't seem too concerned with your speech, at least for now. I'm not sure what that means. And the same with Spike. And Kendo Kushina is now a technician, according to his style. And we've got 0.18 for pay-per-view buys, which is 7th best overall. So not great. I was expecting better, to be honest. The main event didn't get in the top 10, and neither did the event itself. So a bit underwhelming there after this hour build-up. But still, a lot's happening story-wise. I think we've developed the stories pretty well, and we've got a Vampiro Sting feud happening. We've got a new champion. And where will Rhino go next after losing his belt? The pay-per-view has gone down well with the media, though. It says here that the feedback has been great and it drew a lot of praise, which I suppose is good to see. Now we're just going to quickly look at getting them pay-per-view deals that we were looking at earlier, and that should boost our pay-per-view revenue significantly. So we're going to go with Cablevision. Why not? Let's do that. And we'll get a new deal for events. And we'll sign a year contract, unlimited episodes. Let's try and get prime time. Actually, no, they want a B for every show. We could go early evening. We could try and push to 70, but I don't think that's a good idea. So we're going to go early evening. And apparently they don't want to give us that time slot, so maybe not. Late night. Actually, saying that, this is for pay-per-views, so we could just go evening and get the 70, because we usually do that for pay-per-views. And they don't want to give us that time slot either. Late evening. Same again. Late night. Okay, we could get late night, so we'll do that. And let's try and get one in Canada on medium. So we'll go with Eastlink. New deal for events, 1 year. We'll go late night again, why not? Now we'll look at company wars. WF still top with international rating. ECW Cult, New Japan Cult, CMLL Cult. So it's good to see 3 of the top 4 are in our alliance, so that's a good sign. And the Power 500, Keiji Muto is our top wrestler at 27th, down from 11th. Minoru Tanaka up from 103rd into 34th place. Kendo Kushina, 39th, up from 144th. Super Delphin, who we released, is now 83rd. And Rhino is 98th, up from 237th, so his year as champion has helped him rise quite a bit. And Vampiro is down from 36th to 98th. And Kenta is up from 288th to 108th. And yeah, that's pretty much for like the top 100-ish. I won't bother looking at the rest. So let's have a look at the champions in WWF. So Disco Inferno is the Cruiserweight champion. The US champion is X-Pac. The World Heavyweight is Booker T still from the start of the game. APA are the WCW World Tag Team Champions. The European champion is Eddie Guerrero. The Hardcore champion K-Quick. Goldust is the Intercontinental champion. The Light Heavyweight is vacant after Grandmaster Sexay got released. Trish Stratus is the Women's champion. The WWF champion is Kurt Angle after beating Steve Austin. That's pretty big. And the Hardys are the WWF Tag Team Champions. And now on the creative meeting, Sting is first, above Keiji Muto. And Minoru Tanaka has actually been pushed out. It goes Sting, Keiji Muto, Vampiro, Rhino and Samoa Joe for franchise players. But still, I have faith in him. He's still in the Ring Generals and the Showstoppers. So yeah. His skills are pretty good. He's got some B pluses now. A lot of B pluses actually. He could do with improvement on the entertainment wise. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Let's check the progress. His aerial has gone up. His brawling has gone up. His performance overall has gone up to B plus. Physically, he's improved as well. And entertainment's pretty much the same. In fact, it is entirely the same. But yeah, good progress from him. And his popularity has risen from 8 in the USA to January, and he's now the ECW champion. And he's 70 C plus in our region, so yeah, good work from him. And I think he deserves it. He's the right man to take the belt off Rhino, I think. So let me know who you think should have won the Fatal 4-Way, if not Tanaka. I'd be interested to know. But yeah, if you've got this far, do let me know in the comments. And thanks for watching the series so far. We're like 45 episodes in, and there's quite a few people watch every single one. And we get 500 to 1,000 people. So that's pretty cool, just for someone sitting in their room booking a shit wrestling show. So yeah, thanks for watching, and Merry Christmas, and until next time, peace.